Hello, everybody. Thank you for joining me. This is GGF bringing you episode 30, the big 3-0, 3-0 of Let's Play Pillars of Eternity. Hope you guys are doing well, having a fine time. Whatever the case may be, we're going to get it in, guys. Have some fun. We're in Radrick's Hold, and it is a doozy down here. These sewer / basement thing is no joke. It's been quite the experience thus far.
Sure.
Nothing will slip past me.
And it continues, so
I see where you're going with that.
let's unlock that door, get some XP.
Give me a real challenge.
Which I think we already were in here, right? Yeah, there's those chests, or those traps. Alright, now if we come over here, we've got a ghoul, or a goal. A goal. Let them come. Oh dear. Aloth? Where's Aloth? Aloth? What the heck is Aloth?
How may I help?
What are you doing up there? Get back there, man. Oh my gosh. Alright, just throw the book at them.
Hey.
Dare. Attack. You
Yes.
come up and attack. Durance. Tase them all. I'll come up and attack. And
Just say the word.
Shauna, go attack. Attack that one right there.
Hey there.
Everything should be going according to plan.
How may I
I'll
help?
throw another barrage in there.
Yeah.
Attack right there. Perfect. Oh, Adair is getting rocked. There's a bunch of goals. Let's
Hey.
actually... No, wait. It's his health that's getting rocked. Clear that. Clear that order. Knock down. Injured, barely injured, near death. Knock that one down. There you go. Shauna. Durance, get in the mix, bro.
I?
I don't want Adair to die. There we go. Everybody kill the last guy. Ooh. That was wild. Couple vessel bones. I don't feel so bad about using those now. Everything else, take all, go to the...
Light, flame, and sound. We'll keep to ourselves.
Go to the chest, the stash. See what we've got here. I don't know why we came in the water. That's because we could. These sewer areas, it's absolutely huge. There's so much to explore, and I don't want to miss a thing. And I don't. Come down here. I guess we could have got in through the sewers, and now I'm kind of tracing that back in a weird
Found
way.
it.
Like somehow I'm tracing back that we would have came through the sewers,
Give me a real challenge.
and all the enemies are awaiting us down here. Alright. Let's come over this way, I guess. I don't know what path would have led us through the sewers, though. Uh-oh, this looks ominous. Well, let's rest. Adair. Get bonus accuracy versus vessels. Damage reduction, heal multiplier on me. Get damage reduction. Additional accuracy on vessels and okay. Should be good to go. Our food should last another rest, no? We have one left. Our food did not last, so we've got to eat again. Let's just eat basic stuff. Beer, 1 damage reduction. Aloth will take it. Durance will drink 1. We have good stuff too. So put the beer down. Max endurance, might, and perception. Max endurance, 10 endurance, 2 dexterity. So we'll give that to Shauna. And then 1 might, 1 perception. Yeah, just give a savory pie to Adair. And we'll give a savory pie too. Get that perception going, which is going to add to accuracy and reflex and interrupt, which not the most important stats
And what does the flame reveal?
for those characters, but
And what do we have here?
I've apparently turned into the druid rogue. Quick save often. More water. What in the world? A doorway? Where the heck does that go? Oh my gosh, we have to see where this goes. Under the water. Unbelievable that this was a viable way in. Wow. Get the river reeds. How would we even find that? We're back outside. Just clearing the map pretty much. Wow, that blows my mind, y'all. Springberry. That just blows my mind. Golden celery. That we were out here. Oh, that's river reeds too. And that they have all those ways to attack the keep. It's nuts. Are there any guards posted though? Sorry if I keep bumping my mic, guys. It's a neck issue. Keeps wanting to lie down. Go to sleep. My neck. I'm on this laptop. Unbelievable. So I'm gonna go grab this, I guess. St. Garen's Horn. And then we're back out where we started. I don't want to do a frontal assault. Back to the sewers again. We're back. Back to the sewers again. I'm back. All right, so that's a thing. That's a thing. Quite the interesting thing, I would say.
Nice and quiet.
Just looking for any tricks or traps, bits or bobs.
This calls for a subtle touch. Give me a real challenge.
Another lock picker. Ooh. No trap. 11 Fennings and House Domino. Well, we should probably read some books while we're here. Let's read House Domino. What can be said about House Domino that isn't whispered fearfully in a back room over the dim light of a dying fire, that the wrong set of ears will hear it? The Domino history is colorful and violent, exciting and more than a little bloody. The Dominels were a small Adiran family that dealt almost exclusively in textiles. They made a modest living, slowly gaining a reputation for having high-quality product. This reputation earned them connections, business, social, and sometimes marital, that solidified their position as the premier family of the region. If you wanted access to anyone, the Dominels were the way to do it. Soon every city had a business that was owned, at least in part, by the Dominels. Their power and influence grew until many said the family had more power than even the fair Koning of Adir. But with that power came the corruption. One cannot have that level of control and expect to keep it through strictly legal means. Soon rumors were spreading of threats and extortion. Though it cannot be proven, the unofficial report is that the Dominels were responsible for the death of Trindig Bierenweir. Trindig Bierenweir, which left his entire shipping empire in the hands of his wife, Udella Dominel Bierenweir. With their hold on the land practically secured, the Dominels no longer stuck to the shadows, brazenly eliminating opponents, manipulating deals, and threatening anyone who might cause them a problem. Because they now dominated the trade route, no one dared oppose them anymore for fear their business would be strangled. Like most empires, though, not even theirs could last forever. The end came during the War of Defiance. Unlike most of the land, the Dominels threw in with Adir instead of Admeth Hadret. After the defeat of the Empire and the destruction wrought on the land during the war, not even the Dominels could rebuild what they had. And, having history show them on the wrong side of the war, no one would touch the name. The domain that took years to build crumbled in mere months. Today, the Dominels have once again built a name for themselves, proving they are still capable and savvy business people. Rumors about the family still circulate, though. Word is members of the family are striving to lift the family from its current obscurity and elevate it to the level of power it once held. The Dominels. Can we send that to the stash? We can. Oh, beautiful. I didn't know we had unlimited stash access. Can I take something? No, right? We can send, we can't take. So we have to be a little bit careful. Admeth Hadret, Part 2, Rebellion. Over the 5 years following his ascension to Gref, Admeth attempted to mend relations with the Glanfothans and bring his land together with theirs. He enacted laws that restricted the taking of new slaves, allowed Glanfothans to buy their fellows out of bondage, and imposed a tax on slave ownership in order to promote the use of free labor. While there was some resistance to these new laws, the Fair Kuning's attention to Raed Saris and Admeth's power, backed by the colonists, made it difficult for the earls to truly resist what was happening. In 2662 AI, in the year of the 10th anniversary of the War of Black Trees, Admeth brought about the end of slavery in the Deerwood. He negotiated a series of treaties with the Glanfothans, wherein a timeline was established for the official emancipation of all remaining slaves. Each owner would receive compensation in either land or money based on the number of slaves freed. If they didn't comply, the slaves would be seized and their former masters would suffer a substantial fine. In return for this, the Glonfothans opened trade routes with the Deerwood and allowed Deerwoodans to live in and near areas that had their sacred ruins, but they are, under no condition, to enter the ruins. As a final act of goodwill, Admeth freed Galvin Reg, saying he had suffered sufficiently for his actions. The Fair Koenig, seeing he was completely out of control in his own palatinate, devised a plan to get the supply of ancient artifacts running again. He approached the earls, suffering under Admeth's rule, and convinced them to hire agents to raid the ruins. Initially, they did so in secret, but they quickly became sloppy, eventually being caught. This breach of the treaties incited Glonfothans again to acts of violence, while Admeth researched who was behind it. With help of the Glonfothan leaders, Admeth found evidence that pointed back to the Fair Koenig as the source of the raids. Or the Fairkening. It's probably the Fairkening. Fairkening. The Fairkening. That was the beginning of the end for Adirran rule in the Deerwood. Over the next 7 years, Admeth and the Fairkening maneuvered around each other, playing political, economic, and military games in order to gain the upper hand. In 2668 AI, Admeth declared the Deerwood had had enough. The Fairkening would no longer be recognized. The Deerwood was now a free entity and would govern itself. This started the War of Defiance, which lasted 5 years. The end result of the war was freedom for the Deerwood, and though Duke Hadret would never live to see it come to a close, the people of Deerwood consider him the founder of the country nevertheless. Admeth Hadret. The Spellwright's Tome. Let's check this out. It's got Rolling Flame, Consulhat's Corrosive Siphon, Miasma of Dull-Mindedness, Jolting Touch, Consulhat's Parasitic Staff, Wizard's Double, and Minoletta's Minor Missiles. First level, so let's give that to Alot for his full helm. And let's see him take a look at it. He can learn all these spells. Oh, he can learn spells for money. Right. Let's have him learn some of these Grimoire spells. Yes. Fetid Caress. Necrotic Lance. Oh my gosh. Chill Fog and Ghost Blades. Calls a field of unearthly blades into existence, inflicting immediate pierce damage and a hobbled affliction on targets in the area of effect. Hobbled for 5 seconds, 21 to 32 pierce. Okay, Chill Fog. I like Fetid Caress. The target becomes paralyzed, afflicted with boiling pustules of foul-smelling liquid that erupt from their skin, sickening those nearby. Now that's not going to work on undead, probably. The paralysis might. Area of effect is 1.78. Radius. Range of 6 meters only. I want to learn that, though. 200 copper. Bong bong. He's learned Fetid Caress. You've learned a new wizard spell. Remember that you must add new wizard spells to a grimoire before they're available for you to use. Necrotic Lance. Creates a lance of pure necrotic energy, causing corrode damage instantly and over time. So the range is 8 meters. The effect is the target gets hit with a lance of pure necrotic energy for 37 to 48, plus 33 over 6 seconds with a plus 10 versus fortitude. I want to learn that too. 200 copper. Okay. First level spells, I want... If you erase it from the grimoire, you won't be able to scribe it again. Oh. Let's look at the other grimoire with Alot. Rolling Flame. Area of effect length 42.8 meters. Bounces up to 3 times. On bounce, it's minus 50% damage, but 21 to 32. Creates a rebounding ball of fire, inflicting burn damage upon anyone in the path. I want to learn that for him. 200 copper. Learned Rolling Flame. Console has Corrosive Siphon. Range of 5. Drains 56 corrode damage as endurance over 13 seconds, plus 10 versus fortitude. Eats away at the target's spirit, inflicting corrosive damage and converting their essence into endurance for the caster. Miasma of Dull-Mindedness. Cloud of heavy fog settles in the minds of those in the area of effect, dulling senses and wits. Inflicts penalties to perception, intellect, and resolve. Good for throwing against like the wizard types. How much cover do we have? 1,800. I don't want to spend too much on this. Console Hot's Parasitic Staff, Summon Weapon. Creates a glowing quarterstaff of pure energy for the wizard to wield, granting a bonus chance to hit and giving the wizard endurance, with each successful strike. That's pretty cool. For a minute, he can use a quarterstaff, stand behind a dare or something, and hit people with it. But he's fine with his wand and stuff. Alright, so we'll use... I think we'll use the Spell Rights Tome. Yeah, it's got more available slots in it. It looks... Oh, wait a minute. No, we'll use Ludrana's. And for level 2, I want to put Rolling Flame in there. Those are awesome. Level 1, let's give it a Fan of Flames. And put in Minoletta's Minor Missiles. No Jolting Touch. Darn. Well, that's my level 2 spellbook. My level 1 spellbook. We're going to put Jolting Touches in. Not Wizard's Double, but Slicken. I did get Kalikoth's Sunless Grasp when I expected Aloth to be fighting more in a melee situation, but I don't know if that's ever going to happen. So that's the level 1, the Spell Right. Level 2, Rolling Flame, and I guess Fetid Caress. Or better yet, Necrotic Lance. So that's my level 2 spellbook. Or my level 1 spellbook. Just got to get situated a little bit better here, guys. Bear with me, please. Alright, let's see what we've got now. Let's look at more stuff. Plus will. Spirits. A robe, we can send that to the stash. Ludrana's Orders, page from Fulvanos. Scroll of Jolting Touch. Scale Armor of Constitution. Scroll Note. In the Chapel. Rid of the Zarb Champion Spear. The full helm can go. That helm can go. These shields can go. Oh, I accidentally grabbed them. Heavy armor. Saint Widewind, Farmer Become God. Did I read that in this one, or did I read it in Avowed? So let's check out a bit about Widewind. With the mention of the name Widewind, most folk only think one word: Godhammer. While this event echoes through the ages and is still felt years after the destruction of Evan Dewar Bridge, or Avon Dewar Bridge, Widewind's humble beginnings belie the powerful force he would grow into. Widewind lived an unassuming life in a remote area of Rayad Saris. the son of Vorlos farmers. He toiled in the fields alongside his father for 22 years until his father's death. The farm then fell to him to run. He considered selling, but had no other skills upon which to draw, so he set on the path of Vorlos farmer as well. Nothing of note had been recorded in Widewind's life until 4 years after his father's death. One day, while working the fields, Widewind's life was irrevocably changed. In his words, night was falling, the fingers of dusk already gripping the sky. The sun had dipped behind the world's edge, and stars were peeking from beyond the shroud. The day was still, and darkness had blanketed the field. I placed my last harvest of the day into the collection pile, when from behind me arose a brilliant light. I turned, fear in my breast, knowing not what could have caused such intense radiance. Behind me stood a blazing figure, resplendent in glory. Its white flesh glowed with a luminescent radiance, its head a blinding ball of light, brighter than the highest sun of mid-year. I averted my gaze until afraid I would be struck down for daring to gaze upon such a creature. A sudden peace washed over me, sweeping away my fear, leaving my troubled soul tranquil. A loving warmth wrapped its arms around me. A voice spoke to me as I stood, transfixed, trying to see both this glorious being and avoid its dazzling scrutiny. Fear not, it said to me, for you are chosen above all others. You will be the light to bring about the rebirth of an empire. It then held out its hand and bestowed upon me a vision of power such that I could scarcely contain it. Widewind, disheveled and dirty, stumbled into his village the next morning, telling all who would listen about the miracle that happened in his fields. Aethys himself, he claimed, had appeared to him. He was to punish the Adiran governor for leading his people into ruin. A way would be provided, and those faithful who helped would be blessed when the divinity manifested. Villagers ignored him, convinced the loss of his parents had broken his mind. But Widewind continued to preach of the power of Aethys and the corruption of the governor, eventually earning him the ire of the locals. His confrontations with the villagers hit a turning point one day in mid-autumn. A crowd had gathered around Widewind, jeering him and telling him to leave the village. The Vorlos crop that season was particularly light, and the villagers blamed Widewind, saying he had angered the gods, particularly Aethys, with his blasphemy. They backed him into one of the withered fields, yelling at him to go. Accounts of the inciting action are hazy. Some say a stone was thrown, others say he was pushed, others still say he simply tripped over a dry root sticking from the ground. Regardless of the cause, Widewind landed face down on the ground, the villagers standing over him laughing. Enough, a voice, not Widewind's, boomed across the field. Widewind looked up at the crowd, his eyes glowing with a blinding white light. He stood but did not stand. One moment he was on the ground, and the next he was standing there before the crowd, who cowered before him. You dare deny me? The voice spoke through Widewind's mouth. You dare refuse my servant? Widewind's arms raised, beginning to luminesce. You dare require proof? His arms went out to his sides. Never ask again, lest you be burned in the light of the new dawn. There was a flash of light from Widewind's eyes and hands, and the entire field sprang to life. The once dried and brittle plants became full, lush, and verdant. The crowd was silent. From somewhere in the back came a call of praise Aethys, and then they all fell to their knees in front of Widewind. Farmer turned god. Now that's really cool, like an actual, godly miracle taking place in this game world. One of the gods anyway, there's many, but that was really cool. You kind of think at first it's a bit of a hoax, but then, that happens. And it still could be a hoax if the history was written down by, it wasn't verified too much. Could just be something over time that grew a legend, but who knows? But it's still pretty cool. No matter which way you slice it, really. Slice it like a good old savory pie. Scale armor. We can just send that to the stash. We're going to have a lot to sell when we get back. Fine robe. The helm can go. Fine quarterstaff. Let's read another book, maybe. The Many Faces of Bareth. It's a short one. How fitting that we know the god of cycles, doorways, mortality, and inevitability as Bareth, while the Valians know this very same god as Sarono. For if nothing else, Bareth teaches us that duality exists in all things. There is life in death and death in life, Embrace this duality and you honor Bareth. In the ruins Air Glonfoth, Bareth is depicted in the form of two semi-skeletal figures, one male, one female, Bunin I Enku, Bunin E Enku, and Enku E Bunin, literally life and death and life in the Glonfothan tongue. That's really cool. Male and female, inside and outside, life and death. We often think of Bareth by imagining two sides of a coin, or the two end points of a journey. It's said that Bareth has the most petitioners of every god, and this likely true. Who amongst us has not prayed for the cycle to hiccup? Who has not, in a moment of sadness, yelled at Bareth to make an exception for our fallen loved ones? Bareth may not rescue our loved ones, but it answers our prayers in its own divine way. Bareth is the god that makes life end in death, and it is also the god that makes death end in life. Barath, Sarono, Bunin I Enku, Enku I Bunin. Whichever of the many names you prefer to use deserves our prayers, for it has given us the promise of life's eternal renewal. Sorry, I'm kind of losing my voice a little bit. That's very cool too. We've got these traps. We'll pass some of them on. I don't see anyone using the plate armor, but I guess you just never know. Another hammer and chisel if we need it. Scale armor. I can go to the stash. I guess that's enough inventory space for now. Breastplate. Alright, nothing in here, huh? How long have we been playing? 32 minutes. Alright, that's interesting. Let's move out.
I shall be discreet.
Okay, there's something written in there. Goal. Oh boy. Alright, here we go. Okay, we need someone else out here. Shauna, go attack that one. Durance, daze them all. Go ahead and knock a goal down. I'll come out and attack as well. Oh, I'm going over that side. Alright, then I'll attack there. Durance, now attack. Aloth, perfect for a blinding blast. Boom. Okay, everybody is doing just fine.
Hey.
Adair, knock this one down.
Hey there.
Whoa, everything got super speeded there for a second. Why did Adair break formation? Oh my gosh. Yeah, I should turn off his AI because he went to fight others and I really didn't want him to. 28 slash from Sean on a sneak attack.
How may I help?
I guess we're Gucci. Sean is taking a beating, which isn't good. 20 crush from Durance.
Easy does it.
Wow, we're in a big room.
Sure.
What do we have here? Gouge marks and scratches line the edge of the lid. Demiath. Now the wind scatters the old leaves across the earth. Now the living timber bursts with the new buds and spring comes round again. And so with men, as one generation comes to life, another dies away. Oh, there's going to be a lot of these. I don't want to go through all of them. Memorials. Oh, I guess we can, but I want to read them like... Let's see here. Let's see. I was eating second breakfast before it was cool. We can check some of these out. Cody, faithful watcher, beloved companion. Here lies a man from the Loo who never knew quite what to do. He tried singing a song, didn't last very long, so instead made a hearty beef stew. Brave leader and pilot of the great golem Ranzengen, who gave his life to destroy the vampire lord Marcus the Destroyer because someone doesn't care. That alchemist fire kills indiscriminately. Lost in ancient and forgotten lands. Cool. We are more than we allow ourselves to be. That's true. Dreams are infinite, and yet all my dreams lie here. In memory of the stately House of Lords, whose minds and tongues, as keen as vorpal swords, would now be reigning over land and sea had they remembered to beware the tree. We never scaled to your level. I died succumbing to nature, but thousands of souls in my soul will fit. One of them is extinguished. That for a bit. One in thousands of remaining live. For 62 years, he led the way. Where he rode, others followed. There was no one better. The road captain. At least the weather's cooler around these parts. Choose red, green, or blue. 3 colors, a lone outcome. Winter, space, despair. I came, I saw, I died. I wondered why someone painted teeth on that one. If you can read this, the plan to achieve eternal life isn't going well. Go forth and loot. Seriously, stop reading this. You've got monsters to slay and gods to humble. The longer you spend reading, the more loot and fame slip through your fingers. Go forth, adventurer. Well, we have time. Here lies Duke, crushed by a rampaging sauropod. I figured give the peeps their shouts here. We'll finish up by reading this one. Decisions delayed until time runs out. We're always going to be his downfall. He was neither as swift or cunning as he thought, clumsy, a poor swimmer at best, prone to whining of aches, often within earshot of ravenous arthropods, yet lived to 92 due to love of sweet Bubba. Or devilry empty. Dex, we do not know ourselves in a lifetime. How can we know others? Some truth to that. Undeserving of this expensive tombstone. Memorializing intensifies. Believe. Immured and buried here lies a man, its wisdom downs the tray. The fray? Whispered under his silk pall, let me give you an advice. Don't die, refuse to fade away. Dead's not worth effort at all. Oh, that was cool. May our deeds be sung through the ages. Here lies Dave Oshry, his hair was perfect. We've done the impossible and that makes us mighty. Malcolm Reynolds. Here lies the 3-toed sloth. Sadly, he died from choking on the olives he loved so much. He owes everything to his friends and family, but especially to his best friend Shannon. A despondent husk, discarded with shame, bound by the tyranny of torment and blame. He cannot die, but exists unwhole. Vicarity's shadows destroy his soul. He seeks his life inexorably, intent on his claim. I'm not going to try to pronounce that, but there you go. From mortal to celestial to redeemer to martyr, lost forevermore but never forgotten. Charity is the sincerest form of flattery. Donations, please. Backer of this incredible video game, successor of the Baldur's Gate series. Yes, definitely. Confusion. Alright, so we are 39 minutes in. I'm going to wrap it up here, guys. But hope you enjoyed this episode. Figured I'd do a little bit of reading this time.
Found it!
Oh, we found a trap. Okay. We might do more reading next time. A little bit. Just to kind of switch things up because we've been dungeon diving a lot here. The bite marks on these bones appear to be the proper size for folk and elven teeth.
There's something you don't see every day.
We'll definitely check these tombs because this is going to be something sweet, I think, in one of these. So that'll be fun. So I hope you'll join me next time. But thanks for watching. If you did enjoy, guys, please like, comment, subscribe before heading out. And do you want to become a member on my channel? Check the links in the description. My Patreon is there as well. Just set up a new tier for $1.99 a month. It's pretty cool. Shout out to my members. Love you guys. Just a heads up for anybody interested. And I hope to see all you guys next time. Yeah, we're going to continue exploring these dank dungeons. I'm intent on exploring it all pretty much. So rather than just head to the objective, because we already freed Giaco, right? Oh, that looks ominous. We already freed Giaco. We could head back to Nedmar or whatever, but I'm interested in exploring it all, seeing what's what. Also, if we take out more of his cronies, like his Animancer, who's doing this evil stuff, you know, the more the better. So tune in for that, guys. Until then, be well, live well, stay well. Much love, peace, and joy. Sorry I'm losing my voice. I've been recording these episodes one after the other. But back stronger and better next time. See you guys then. Ciao for now.